In this video, we are going to build Hangman in Python step by step from scratch. We are going to use program-based online compiler. The goal of our program, play Hangman. What is an Hangman? It's a game where program will select a random word and a player has to guess within 8 attempts. If successful, then you win, otherwise you lose. To start with, we divide this problem into set of steps and we try to achieve those steps one after another. So what are the steps involved? Let us write those steps. First step, program has to randomly select a word from a list of words. Second step, program has to show star 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 based on words length in place of word for user to guess. Third is user has to input letter for guessing the word. The fourth step is if letter is present in the word, then program has to replace the letter in the word and show the changed word. If user guess the word within 8 attempts, then you win. The sixth step is if letter is not present in the word, then comes the Hangman pictorial presentation. Program has to show Hangman picture based on fail attempt count, because it can fail on first or second or third attempt. Then according to that, the program has to show it. What is the next step? Program has to provide 8 attempts. And lastly, if user cannot guess within 8 attempts, then you lose. Now this is the logic and these are the steps that we intend to follow and code in our program to achieve the Hangman. Let us comment this out by pressing Ctrl/. It's one way to effectively comment the code. What now we will start doing is we will start the code. The first step, randomly selecting a word from list of words. For that, first we have to learn how to get a list in Python. So in Python, creating a list is nothing but using the brackets. We can create words, we can add words. Let's say apple, then another word can be blue, next can be peach, followed by watermelon, next can be orange, next can be mango, and let's go until 7 words. So this is the list of words. Now To access any word, it is an index based list. So if I want to print apple, then you can use print and you can say words, and here the learning is the list in computer always starts with 0. So we start with 0. So this is, if we want to make the index, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, 5 and 6, because we count from 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, but computer counts from 0. So if you want apple, then we can print via words and 0 index. Let's run it and see that apple is printed. Now our objective is it has to select a word randomly, and here we are selecting the word that we want. So we can say I want 1, then it's going to print blue. So if I want to select a random, then we need a mechanism to select a random index from 0 to 6, because if we have a mechanism where this can be a random index, and if this random index range, let's say 0 to 6, then we have solved this problem. How do we get the random index? For that, we need to import random. Once the random is imported, we can create a variable random index, which would be random dot and int, and here we have to provide the start range and end range. This can be using the variable, or currently we can say we want from 0 until 6. That way the random index is going to pick any index from 0 to 6, and we can print the random index. Let's run it. So it is selecting 5, we can run it again. It's selecting 6, so it is selecting random over here. One more learning we can do it is, if we want to, currently it is just showing 6 and banana, we can write a description equal to the curly brackets. So this way we can provide the textual description, and here we have to remember that we have to do format. So F is for format, and then if you want to print a variable, it has to be in the curly brackets. Similarly, we can do it for words also. So we can say selected word equal to so that way we are able to see that selected word is banana. So we have achieved one step. Step number 1. Program has to randomly select a word from a list of words. We have 0 until 7, and it is selecting randomly one word. Now our learning is, whenever we want to do an import statement, it has to always be at the top of the program. So all the import statements are at the top. Now this was our learning. We have commented those, and now our steps are, you get a word, list of words, and then you have the random index. Now randomly selected word is printed. What is the next step? The next step is, program has to show star 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 based on the word's length. in place of user to guess, because user has to guess program has selected a word, but for a user it has to be star star. For that, the learning is in Python. If we want to have star, say 10 stars, then the provision is you can do something like a new word, for example, is equal to star, and then you multiply by, let's say, 8 times. And if you print new word, we can see it is 8 times star star. So it's basically star is multiplied 8 times, it is appending that. We can have any character over here. We can have 0, we can have AB, for example, we can a space. So everything is possible. In Hangman, we want to replace with star, so we are going to keep it star. The next part is, this is the 8 time, which is a constant, but for us this is going to be the length of the word, because if I select apple, then it has to be 5 star. If it is blue, then it is going to be 4 star. What is our selected word? We have words and random index. For better approach, we can say program selected random word equal to, basically we are creating a variable that can be used instead of all the time random index reference. And now if we use this, and instead of 8 we can say length, that is the function to get length of the word, and then we can provide what computer has selected. And here we can say, we can call it masked word, because this is the word that has been masked with stars. So we can call it masked word, and we can print it. So here we can say word equal to, and let's see. So this is where we have the masked word, this is the selected word. So if it is 6, then you have 6 stars, and random index is 4. Now these two are our, we are doing for programming and printing it. Our job is done for this, so let us comment it. So for our program's point of view, it is just printing the masked word. And here now our objective is, we have achieved 1 and 2. We have selected a random word and we have shown the star based on words line. So somebody now, a user, needs to guess this. Now we follow the next step, that is the third step. So here the third step is, user has to input a character for guessing the word. So now we have 6 star, for example, user is going to input. So what is the way to get an input? It is nothing but, you can say input character equal to, input is the method, we are going to say enter the letter, because we want user to guess the letter. So here we have selected the input character, and let's see currently, just print the input letter equal to, we just print the character. Let's right now print it, what user has guessed it. So we run it, enter the letter, let's say A, and input letter is A. So we have done the third step. What we have to do for is, if the letter is present in the word, now comes the fourth step. So we have to check if this letter is present in the word. To check this, we can say that if input character is in the selected random word, because masked word is the star star, but the program has selected a random word. And here currently we are just printing it for our reference. So we are saying that if the word contains the letter, then we have to replace, and this is the logic that we need to work on it. So what is the logic? Let's say the word is banana, or let's say apple, and then if I enter E, so masked word is going to be 5 stars, 5 stars. And if the user enters E, then we want star 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 and replace with E. So this is part 1. If the user is entering banana, the selected random word is banana, and we are going to show 1 2 3 4 5 6, and if user enters A, then we have to replace A star A star A. So this is the logic that we would like to implement. We have to implement a logic where if the letter is present in the random word, then we bring the masked word, we replace it with the character, and we use it for future. And to do that, first we have to start with our guessing the word. Like, what is our guessed word? So let's say user has guessed word is equal to, initially user has not guessed anything, so it's a masked word. Now in Python we'll have to create, basically it's a character by character replacement, so we'll have to create the list. So we say that list, we create a list of guessed word, and then we say, so basically each character we want to separate out, that's the idea. And now we are saying that if for each letter in program selected word, basically we are checking each character A, P, P, L and E. That is the separation we are doing. And if the letter is equal to the input character, because we are saying that this is A is equal to user has entered A, for example, then we have to replace, because the mask word is this and it needs an index, we'll get it equal to letter. Basically we have to replace this. Now here we want to access this by list, and list requires the index over here. For solving this problem, Python has a method or approach which is nothing but you can enumerate the list. If we enumerate the list, the way this works is A, P, P, L, E will be managed by, let's say 0A, 1P, 2P, 3L and 4E. So we have index which is following the letters, and you have the letter. So this is the provision that is available in Python. So that way we are able to track each letter, and then we are able to convert them into the list. And finally we started with the guess word, which is the mask word. So if we are saying here, this is going to be star 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 star, for example. When we guess first time, we have to replace this with a approach that Python provides. Is you bring the empty string and you join the list, because here our list was created, which was replaced, and you go ahead and try it. So that way the word is created. Now in here we started with input character, and if it is available then you replace. So our objective here is, if I enter APPLE and if I enter E, then it should be replaced. What we are expecting is, if APPLE is the word selected and if I enter E, then it should show something like that. Let's print the word so we can follow what is happening. And let's run through the logic again. We start with the star star star. If the character is in this, then you create a list so that you can do that. You can access each index letter, and if it is same, then you replace it. You keep on going, and then you say the character, once it is replaced, you join, and you should be able to print after the for loop. Our objective is to get the guessed word with replacement. Let's try this. The word is mango, so if I print A, then it should show that it is replaced with mango, and the guessed word is, so initially it was mask, now it is replaced. So the logic looks okay. Now the next part is, we have this logic, so let us bring this at the bottom. We'll keep it for future. Now we delete this if the letter is. Now the next part is, we have done this if it is program has to replace the word and show. So that is what we have done. We have done 4.1 and 4 together. Now let us try the fifth step. If the user guesses the word within 8 attempts, then you win. Now this requires, so this is the fifth step. So this requires that we run through 8 attempts. That means 8 tries. That means 8 iteration, and that means 8 loops. To achieve that, so basically what we are saying is, every time a guessed word is updated, we are going to ask again for 8 times. That is the logic, and we have to achieve this. We have to ask user to enter it. So here we can say that and this step is superseding the fifth step. So what is our logic? Attempt count will start with 1 first, and we are saying while attempt count is less than equal to 8. So you want to run it 8 times, and we have printed the guessed word. And now what is the logic? If it is correct guess within 8 attempts, then you win. So how do we know the word has been guessed? It can be identified if the guessed word is equal to the program selected word, because that is the original word that program has selected. If it is matching, then we can say print you win, and we have to break from here because we want to break the loop and we can come out, otherwise it's going to count the further steps. So basically we are implementing logic that we try for 8 times, in between any time you guess the word right by comparing, you win. So let's test this out. So we have orange and we are just testing right now, so that's why we have the word in front of us. Let's say I did enter letter R. So here it is printing multiple times and it is keep on going. The reason for that is we have not changed the count, because count is 1, it is not getting updated. We can currently make this logic saying that after every character that user is entering, we'll increment the count. And here one more thing that we need to do, it is after every attempt we have to ask the user, because every time user will guess and user has 8 attempts. So that is the shift we have done. Let's run this. So enter the letter, let's say A. So we got A which is correctly replaced. Let's add O. So it was O, replaced it, S2 with G and N and M. So we are expecting it to user to win, and which is correct. And now we have completed the 5th step. Now let's try the negative, the scenario if letter is not present. So let's implement this logic, which is the 6th logic. So if the character is not present, so it will be, if this is there, it is present, we can bring the else part over here, which is if, that means the letter is not present, and this is going to be the else logic. So here if it is not present, then we have to show Hangman pictorial representation. Currently we are doing the version 1, the first basic Python Hangman. So here it can be represented as, we can say if the attempt count equal to 1. So first attempt, what we can do it is we can print the basic Hangman image by using the print. We can use print and we can kind of draw the basic Hangman. And now we can just see how it is visible. So if the first attempt is failed, then and every fail attempt we are counting. So that is why this attempt plus 1 will go in the if condition. So we start with 1 because if it is successful then you are replacing, otherwise you are incrementing the failure count. So this logic looks okay. Let's see if this is getting printed. So we run it and now it's watermelon, but I say S for example. So it is the first wrong input and we are able to see the first image of Hangman attempt count 1. So that way we can complete the first version by attempt count 2, and here we can try to paste it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because after that we are going to show that it is you lose the key. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and here we can use the else if. That way we are able to check on the attempt count. And finally, once the 7 attempts are utilized, so the attempt count is 8, we can say you lose. Now we have to correct the images. So the way this can be done is you have a basic face. So we have face and then you get the second, then you have, so we are just replacing this, and here we have backslash. So this is the fourth one. Then we can replace the second hand, 6. Then we need the left leg, and lastly we have the right leg, left leg. So that way we are showing that it is this. So now we have completed that. Let's run through this. So it's blue, but we are going to select the Q. So first one, E, no, E is there, T for example. So second Hangman, Y, I, then P, M, and V, and then last one can be C. And then it says that because you ran out of the attempts, so that is what it is showing that. So we have completed that, and let's run through this with another approach where we are showing that it is successful and failure both. So we can say first is banana, so A is there, then you say Q, that's failure, T is failure, E is failure, W is failure, and then we say that B is successful. So banana is here, and then finally we have L for example. We are on here M, and then we say V. Last we have banana, so N, and we win because even we used 7 attempts. So that is how we have implemented the logic. Let's run through this again, and we can clean this up now by removing the random indexes because we don't want to show the selected word, and we can also show attempt number. That way the user knows what attempt is currently active. Let's run through this. So this is the mask code, attempt number 1, and we are guessing it could be, let's say, T. It's not there, A is there, so A, P, then E, C, and H. So we pick this. This is the basic Hangman, where we have used the steps and we have coded the steps one after another, and we went through the logic to implement the first version of Python. To summarize, this is the program to play Python Hangman. It is set of steps. We divide the program into multiple steps and we focus on each step independently, try to understand what the step is required, and then we use it in our main program and try to achieve. Thank you for watching. Keep coding, keep learning. Thank you.